He's assumed the position. Saturdays after 9 p.m. This is about the 10th time I've tried recording this and always forgetting something. Big news. Big news. Bigly news. First of all, this morning at 10, I took the majority of the cut up crate with me to the theater and threw it away. And there were 5 of us at the theater: the director, his wife, the assistant director, a high school girl, and me. And we did a lot of painting, set painting, and I did take some footage of it on my other camera. So I'll try to put it together and show you tomorrow, hopefully. And part of it was there's a mirror that they need to hang on the wall because one of the characters looks in the mirror and is horrified to see she has wrinkles or whatever. We couldn't find an appropriate mirror, too big or too fancy or whatever. So on the way back, I stopped at, there's 2 stores that are right next to each other, at Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. At Dollar Tree, I got 2 8x10 picture frames. That right there. And at the other place, they had these big plastic serving trays that looked like silver. They were shiny, and you could see your face. And it was they're big enough that I could put the 8x10, cut out a piece and put it in there and make a mirror out of. Now, you can see yourself pretty good in there. Not really clearly, like if you're looking for a mole or something on your face or something, you couldn't. But you can see if you've got, let's say, paint on your face or something. So I made 2, one for me and one for the play. They said when they have a mirror, they usually have to spray hairspray on it to dullify it. Dullify? And this is not real shiny like a mirror, so they won't have to do anything to it except hang it up. So I'm proud of myself for that, and it didn't cost that much. Now, the giant news. The giant news that if I could do cartwheels and handstands and handsprings and all that, I would do them, but I can't. But here's the news. I had mentioned wanting to see this German crooner in person in Germany, and he had many dates, 2 weeks worth in Berlin alone. And as I looked at different places a couple weeks ago, the tickets were selling pretty fast. This is for next May. Well, next spring. So I was going to go to Friedrichshafen, which is down by Lake Constance at the southern end of Germany where Switzerland is, and Liechtenstein. And I found a really nice youth hostel because the guy in the play told me check out hostels because they're really nice. And I inquired. I haven't heard back from him, or at least if I have, I haven't checked. And then I went to get tickets. No tickets. I thought, shoot. So I was looking at a couple other cities. Hamburg had a ticket or 2. And I didn't really want to go to Hamburg. Bremen, which is southwest of Hamburg, not far. And it's along a river that comes in from the North Sea. There's 2 parts of Bremen. There's the Bremen that's along this inlet from the North Sea, and then the city center, which is Bremen proper. They had a handful of tickets. Only a handful. This is for next May. They had 2, the second row. There's 2 seats on one side and 1 seat on the other end of the row. So I got 1 seat, second row. I'll be able to be within 15 feet of the guy. And ta-da! Step 1, ticket. Yay! Then I thought, better find a place to stay. It's a university town, and it is spring, so maybe there's graduation going on. I don't know. Or there's other things going on. I don't know. The majority of the hotels were sold out. I'm thinking, oh shit. But the guy in the play, one of the actors in the play, suggested I try hostels, youth hostels and stuff. He says they're not like they are here. They're really nice. So I checked out one, and it had bunk beds in a all male dormitory, and one was mixed. One was 6 beds, and there were 2 beds open in the female dormitory. And I thought, oh man, I snore, and the bathroom was down the hall, and I go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times a night because I'm old. But that one actually had a single room with an adjoining bathroom, so I snatched it up. Along the river, there's a promenade, a big park area with lots of walking paths and all. On the east end of it is the Metropole Theater where the show is going to be. And on the west end is this hostel. It's within 15-minute walk, I think it said on the map. And it's not that far from the airport. It's a small airport. And then I thought, oh, I have to have a way to get there. I'm not bewitched. I can't click myself over there. So I started looking at airfares. At first, I wanted to Palm Springs because that's only 27 miles east of here. And at first, it was like, well, let me look. Then there's Ontario, which is 40 minutes west of here. And then there's John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, and that's an hour and 10 minutes. And then there's LAX, the main thing down at downtown LA, which I've heard nightmares about. So I thought I'll do either the John Wayne one, because Brian said it was a nice airport, or Palm Springs, which I like, and I've been in and out of Palm Springs a couple times. It's kind of out in the desert. It's not far from Indio and Coachella, and it's kind of a small town. It's really nice. It's a lot of old retired people and old retired gay guys. So it's a nice area. It's nice. I'm familiar with the airport, the parking, how to get there, and all that. So I tried booking, and it had me get there on the day of the concert, about an hour before the concert, and I thought that's cutting it too close. So I'll leave on Tuesday, concert's on Thursday, and I'll get there on Wednesday, and I'll have a night to sleep, and then the morning of Thursday to see a couple things maybe. The concert's on Thursday night, and then Friday I'll have the day to see something, maybe if there's something to see, and then return on Saturday. I get home about 8:30 at night. And Tuesday, Brian's off, so he could take me to the airport. And then Saturday at 8:30, everybody would be home here, so somebody could pick me up. And I could pay him or whatever. But if I parked, it's $20 a day. It'd be $100 to park. So I could save myself a lot of bucks if somebody would drop me off and pick me up. So I'm all excited about it. I have to brush up on my German, do much better. I know there's a lot of places that speak English. The hostel says they speak English, Spanish, and German. And I speak some German and Italian, so I should not have too much trouble. Now, Germans have a habit of having extraordinarily long words. They put several words together, and the words are almost as long as the alphabet. So I'll have to get used to some of that and bone up on where to go and what to do and what to eat. Now, the hostel does not provide the breakfast like the hotels do. So I'm going to have to figure something out. And I'll have to check into that more. Maybe there's something I missed. I don't know. I told Ashley about it today. And she said, oh, she'll tell her sister, Kim. Kim loves looking up stuff. She likes learning new things. And she used to like to travel, but now she's a big germaphobe and she doesn't want to go anywhere. but she'll like to look up stuff for me. And I thought, great. So today, in the afternoon, I came home and I had a big salad to eat with chicken fingers in it, or chicken tenders. Then I went to do poop patrol in the backyard, and Spencer saw me, and he's knocking on the door, and he can open the sliding patio door now. He's macho man. He comes running out with his little fork in his hand. No shoes, just socks. And he wanted to talk to me and not eat. And I said, you need to eat your supper. Well, they went to some nursery thing. They had Children's Day, and they had plants for sale. And he wanted to show me the 2 plants that they got, and they're real pretty. And I kept saying, you need to go back in and eat. I don't want to. I said, well, there's a lot of things I don't want to do, but I have to do them. So I said, those plants you got today, they eat. They have sunshine and rain or water, and the nutrients in the soil make them big and pretty and strong. I said, if you want to grow up nice and big and strong, you have to do your share for yourself. So let's go. I'll go with you. And I apologized to Ashley as I went in. I said, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a distraction. So we sat down right in front of Spencer, and I said, okay, what do you have? And Mommy made a hamburger helper, and then he had like mixed vegetables with it. And I said, are those vegetables? Like carrots? And he goes, yeah, but I ate all the peas already. So he ate that. Anytime he stopped eating, I just said, no, you gotta eat that. I said, I'll go right now, but if I'll sit here with you, if you eat your dinner. He did. And the baby was in his high chair thing, and he does this number. He rocks back and forth, and he had that chair scooting halfway across the kitchen. He is a character. He had food everywhere. But they have their own way of cleaning up. When they're finished eating, they open the little gate between the living room and the family room, and the dogs come over and eat it all up. And she was wiping Sebastian up. And Spencer and I went into the family room area, and we're playing with his little doodad thing that I got him for Christmas. It's a little handheld device, and you slip these cards that have pictures and words on them, and little lines at the side that the card reader can read, and that'll say cat. When you put the card in there and you push a button, it'll say what it is. Cat. Meow. And so he was showing me all the different cards and how he knows what they are, and he goes, look at this one, what's this one? So we were doing that, and the baby came over, and he had this sly little look on his face, and it was a piece of plasticware, food container that was washed. I put soup in there for him when everybody was sick, and he was playing around with that, and I said, oh, look, it's a drum, and I tapped the top of it. There's a book, 10 little fingers, 10 little thumbs, bum diddy bum bum, or whatever. He loves that book, and he loves so we were playing with it like a drum, and I was helping pick up all the little cards because they were everywhere. My goal was to at least put them in a pile so that they're not all over the floor. And Ashley said, I'll go draw the bath. So by the time I had them all picked up and everything, she said, okay, it's time for your bath. They went up, no complaining, and I said, this is great. I said, I'll see you later, alligator. So that's what happened today. And I've been really thirsty, and I breathe through my mouth because my nose is stuffed up, so I'm real dry. How dry I am, how wet I'll be if I don't find that bathroom key. Boy, I can really talk, can I? Yakety yak yak. Yakety yak, don't talk back. Almost 15 minutes. I'll aim for that or less. I did take some footage when I was at the theater with my other camera. I'll have to put it together and see if I can, show you what it looks like in there and all that. So, don't know. I'm excited about the trip. next May. And I'll need to get a visa. It'll be about $15 to get a visitor visa for the time allotted. That came about a couple weeks ago, that Americans traveling, the rules have changed again. Ashley said, when did that come about? And I said, the day that you returned from Canada, that very day. And I said, maybe that's why TSA had such a hard time with you guys, because they had brand new rules that they were given that morning. So, barring disease, barring injury, barring snafus with airfare and all that stuff, I have an experience that's going to happen next May. Woo, woo, woo. Upward and onward.